Welcome back to the studio, guys. On the lighter side, we're getting to speak with Kamido. So Kamido is making us proud, and he was nominated for the Viewer's Choice Best International Act at the BETE Awards. Voting actually is ending today. We are not quite sure, but guess what? He's in that category with the likes of Ashake from Nigeria, Flo, Lebianca, Maureen from France, Lebianca is from Cameroon, MC Ryan Slip, and Pabi Cooper from South Africa. And so we are just here to give him vibes and wish him the best of luck. He's joining us now. Good morning, Kamido.
Good morning. Good morning,
Hi.
family.
Hi, Kamido. Pleasure to have you join us. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you, by the grace of God. Yeah.
Right. Yes, indeed. Big congratulations to you for putting Ghana on the map again. A big congratulations to your team as well. How are you feeling? Are you feeling any jitters? What's the mood like for you?
No, actually, it's congratulations to the whole of Ghana. It's
Nice.
congratulations to the whole of Ghana. It's not just for me. It's actually not for me. It's for Ghana. This is for Ghana. So, yeah.
Okay, and so what's the mood like for you? How are you feeling? Are you feeling the love? Are you feeling jitters?
Yeah, 100%. Like, I feel the love. Like, I see a lot of Ghanaians, rallying behind, the cause for us to win and bring the flag back home. Like, I feel the love. I'm really excited to be, the one leading the cause. And, it's just a step in the right direction. I just pray that we're able to, win and bring it back home. That's where the focus is. So, yeah.
Okay, so from back home, we are wishing you all the success and putting all the light on you. Before we let you go, anything you'd like to tell your fans and Ghanaians in general who are rooting for you badly?
Yeah. 100%. Not just my fans, every Ghanaian, from the politicians to the layman carrying Pogba. It's just a matter of hopping on Instagram and going onto BET_INTL.
Okay.
BET_INTL, and looking out for Kamido's picture and liking it and dropping a comment. That's the only way you vote. And the voting ends today at 5 p.m. BST. So yes, we still got some time for people to vote. So
Okay.
I'd love for my people to please.
Okay, Kamido.
Yeah,
Okay, Kamido, thank you for joining us. We are wishing you success.
Appreciate you guys.
Yes, indeed. We are wishing you success. And so voting ends today at 5 p.m. Just go on Instagram, and this is how you support Kamido. This is the only way of voting. Go look for Kamido's picture and look for BET_INTL. Look for Kamido's picture and put a comment under there, and that's how you vote. Thank you, Kamido. Big shout out to you. Congratulations to you and your team. And so our man Kamido is in the Viewer's Choice Best New International Act. He's in there with a couple of people, and by virtue of just being nominated, he's a winner already, and by that virtue, Ghana is winning. Okay, and that's the bit on Kamido. So back home, like we said, we're talking about the role of theater and how it helps in nation building. And so we used to talk about, right here on GTV, we used to have the likes of the Thursday theaters, concert parties by the fireside. The list goes on and on and on. With me this morning is an internationally recognized teaching artist with a strong background in theater arts, creative writing, film, dance, and directing. And in 2002, he was selected as a fully funded presenter at the 6th International Teaching Artist Conference in Norway, and he was also featured in the UNESCO International Art Education Week in the year 2021. And so before I introduce my guest and all the input he's putting into making theater a tool for developing the nation, we're going to watch a short clip from my guest, and then when we come back, we'll get chatting.
In fact, it doesn't just rely on study of textbooks, as most students do in school. he always wants to experiment, to do things that nobody has even thought of.
Wow.
Yes, that's Peter.
And very talented too.
Peter Achu Adalate is an internationally recognized multidisciplinary teaching artist. He has worked with schools, community arts hubs, churches, and corporate and nonprofit organizations. He has contributed immensely to teaching artistry, empowered many children, youth, and artists through art-rich events at the National Theatre of Ghana and other innovative workshops. And he has used his arts organization, Bright Future Arts Foundation, as a vehicle for promoting arts in education. He's spread his passion for the arts, not only into schools, churches, and communities throughout Ghana, but also through mentorship of younger teaching artists and empowering students in co-creation. He shared how students respond and become so engaged, as that's the approach they've been crying for. Yet it remains challenging to convince schools of the need for both student choice and voice in learning, and for the arts integrated into the school day, a challenge Achu continues to take on. Achu is expanding the field of teaching artistry in Ghana by engaging international teaching artists in empowering Ghanaian teaching artists. Achu's dedication has been acknowledged by UNESCO in the International Arts Education Week.
All of us, at the end of this session, we are wearing the T-shirts for change. Yes. I love all of you. My name is Achu Adalate from Ghana. Right on. And God bless you.
Welcome back, Eng. I'm sure that clip gave you an insight into who our guest is. Our guest is Peter Achu Adalate. He's the country director for ITAC. ITAC is the International Teaching Artists Collaborative. And he's also a teaching artist who is using art as a tool for national development. It's a real pleasure to meet you.
It's nice to meet you.
Good morning. Welcome to the studio, Achu.
Yes.
Hi.
I've already told you this, but I must say it again on the national television. I love this.
Oh, thank you very much. I love yours as well. You know,
Thank
it's
you.
GBC.
Yeah.
We like to do our African thing.
Yeah.
This is the first time ever, first time I'm sitting with a teaching artist. I don't know who a teaching artist is. I'm sure a lot of people don't know who a teaching artist is. So do us the honors before we get to know you. Who's a teaching artist?
You have actually met most of them.
Oh.
You have. I think it's the name.
Okay.
You see, a teaching artist is any artist who moves into the communities to transfer his creative artistic skills for social change.
Okay.
You know, so if you're an artist, you move into the communities, churches, schools, what have you, and you use that transformative tool to bring change. So that's the teaching artist.
Okay. So in this case, are we talking performing arts?
Yeah, performing arts, visual arts.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Once it's under the arts,
okay,
that's it. Yeah.
And you go out and teach
Exactly.
for social change.
For
That's
social
cool.
change. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And so, guys, if you don't know who a teaching artist is, together we found out who a teaching artist is, and we're going to be spending time with Peter Achu Adalate, and find out how he's doing and what's happening in your field. So, what have you been up to first? Tell us how you got into. What kind of artist are you first? Do you like paint? Do you like make music? Or you are a cocktail
I'm
of
a
everything?
performing visual artist.
Okay.
So I'm multidisciplinary. First of all, I mean, this is what I do all the time. You know, my mom, dad is watching out there. So first of all, I want to say thank you, Daddy, Mr. and Mrs. Michael Adalate, and for all those of you who have been supporting me all this while. I want to do this before I forget. Okay. I'm grateful. And actually this is my 25th year in this field. So it all started when I was, I found this when I was in JHS, Nima 2 Junior Secondary School, and then moved to Keta Secondary School. So it all began strongly in Keta Secondary School.
Okay.
So in Keta Secondary School, my parents sent me Achu NHA, my twin brother, to school. And then, unfortunately, I enrolled in a course I didn't desire for. So I was moved into to offer technical.
Okay.
So there, it was a bitter experience for me, but I have to just endure. So what I did is that I schooled myself within the time frame, 3 years. So I placed myself more. They call it the extra curriculum.
Okay. Yeah.
But for me, it was my course. Okay. So I was more into drama, into dance, and doing all this over the years. So in fast forward 1998, professionally, I started moving to schools and spaces with teaching artistry.
Okay, 25 years. Wow.
Yeah,
lots of experience you might have garnered on the way.
Yes.
Do you want to share some of the experiences?
Yes. So that's an emotional one. So when I completed Teta Secondary School, usually you want to move to the university. I was bounced because of my, maths and science wasn't good. So I tried convincing them that I'm not here to do that, but still it wasn't okay. So I said, okay, fine. If that's the case, I'm going to volunteer at the National Theatre of Ghana and other spaces, because most of the students, or some of the students who complete from the University of School of Performing Arts, move to the National Theatre. So whatever you have there, you back, I'll get it from the other end.
Easy.
Yeah, so that's a wise one. I also at the National Theatre volunteering in other spaces, schools, churches, work intensively. And my idea was to project development, in communities where we have storytelling, where we have all these other art form blends together, to really move things. So that's what I've been doing over the years.
And how would you, if you were to rate yourself, 25 years of doing this, if you were to rate yourself, what grade would you give yourself?
That'll just be, I'm fulfilled.
Fulfilling.
Yes, it's fulfilling.
Okay.
And I can't grade that. It's fulfilling doing this.
Okay. You're also an advocate. It stems from when your own personal experience. You're an advocate for to sort of scrap extracurricular and put it into the main curriculum. Why? Why are you on that campaign, and where have we gotten to with that?
Arts integration. So when I moved to the schools, I've always been contracted to organize such events, graduations and all that.
Okay.
And everybody, parents, school owners, are very happy about what I put in there, because they see their learners, into public speaking, strong and all that. So I was like, okay, fine. If you appreciate this, why do you sideline this?
Okay.
Why don't you integrate this into the structure itself? Because the arts can be used as a powerful vehicle, all right, to enhance learning. So I believe that instead of you sidelining it, it's good you integrate it. Then the learners can have that experience.
Okay.
And know, and that is it. It does it. So it's not an easy movement, but I believe it's going to be possible, because I've already been moved to some of the schools already into arts integration. We had some couple of workshops in Ghana and outside, and I'm proud. So far, so good.
Okay, good job. And so, which schools have you gone to, and when you help the students or take the students through these exhibitions, how does it what do you do when you go to these schools? That's it.
I create the platform, flexible platform for the students to express themselves. And what I do is that I know that you have math, science, and all that, so I try to marry these, fields together, and they're able to express themselves, doing that. And I really found out that in doing this, most of them get to discover their talents and their strength.
Okay.
And I'm able to broaden that field or broaden that experience with them, and they're able to achieve some powerful results in the school.
Okay.
Yeah, yes.
You volunteered at the National Theatre for the longest of time.
Yeah, I volunteered painfully. Volunteerism, is good to be a volunteer, but we can't deny the fact that it's very painful, because resource, energy, time, and everything goes freely.
Yeah.
But for me, it's the best way to be successful, because you end up learning so many things from many people freely. and the recommendations comes in, then that's where you start knocking people's head with cash.
Okay, so in your work, how has theatre shaped the nation in the past 25 years actively doing this? What are some of the changes that you have seen, or changes in progress that you have seen?
You see, that has been the mission for me. Nationwide, I'm sorry to say, it's not the best. I visited one of the community centers at Nkwanta, and when I saw the physical structure, inwardly I wept. Because, back in the days where, it's common, we have by the fireside, all these things. You don't have these things anymore, like as in how you should have them, because you have the screens engaging people. So you see, community-wise, you are not having people at the gathering, that physical, especially when COVID came in. Most of us experienced that. Yeah. That it was not just this, but connecting. So, on a national level, I strongly feel that as a people, as a government, as a people, there's a lot to do. We need to really narrow our lens to community theatre. Because for me, it's key to nation's development. That is where we can explore the issues going around and integrate them into the arts and really bring out social issues. And definitely there's a change.
There's a change.
There's a change.
Okay,
yeah.
by slow.
Yeah, by
there's
slow.
A change.
By slow.
Okay, so we are going to take a break and watch some of the stuff that Achu has been doing and some of his interactions with the children, and that's coming up now.
Do things that nobody has even thought of. Wow.
And very talented.
Okay, so that's Achu doing his stuff. Achu, back to you. I'm curious, how can theatre arts be used to sort of address social issues? For instance, poverty. If you were to embark on that campaign, what would you do? How can theatre arts be used to, change people's perceptions about that?
It's very it's a common practice for me and some of those involved in theatre to go do research, put them in a script and do that, and people clap and all that. But what I've been doing over the years is I move into the communities with the team.
Okay.
And then instead of just fetching information, like putting in data and then bring it down to the state, what we do is that we really involve some of the people. We bring such people to us, so they become part of the cast.
Okay.
So at the end of the day,
people from the community.
From the community, from the community. They are not becoming spectators. They are part of us, and we end up, bringing the issues together collectively, and we stage those in the communities.
Okay.
So when you do that, you realize that it is not the writer's job alone to go search and feed the cast to showcase, but engaging the community members who are already, voicing their issues out. So if you find them on the stage themselves, they're able to amplify these issues. Yeah.
Okay. And so how about promoting tourism?
Yes.
And generating revenue for the country?
Yes, exactly. Like I told you.
Give us like a practical, scenario of if you're going to be taking a couple of children through that, or kids, or young adults. What are you going to do? What scenario will you create? I just want to have a mental picture of what it looks like.
theater is so broad. And for that, I keep saying it's a resource for national development, because with theater, I have your accessories, all right, your costume, ornament, everything. We as a country can put all those things in theater and sell practically. Because as a country, we have rich culture, all right? We have so many things that we can use in theater and then to really put ourselves forward, and it's key. So with children, what I do is that I make sure that I talk to them about, I'm a storyteller, so I tell them a lot of stories.
Okay.
And then I bring them together to visualize those stories. And then we put all those things together, and it works.
Okay, and so if we're talking generating revenue, okay, how's theatre arts helping with that? And do you think we've done well? We need to do more when it comes to that.
I should say we need to do more. We need to do more because we are selling what we wear. We are selling who we are, our identity, and that's why we need to be very deliberate. I believe we need to have a national vision towards the arts, being deliberate about it.
Okay.
We can sell what we have. You can have people who come in to sell their stuff. Theater does that, and that's where I strongly think if the government can raise some incentives, tax incentives, this is where the private sector can come in strongly to collaborate, teamwork, and then we can have this going on in the communities. Yeah, so I strongly believe in this. Very passionate about this.
Okay. How involved is the private sector? I mean, 25 years of doing this. How involved is the private sector in educational activities such as this?
I'll talk from my personal experience. Not rosy, but I wouldn't blame them too, because I believe we need a lot of orientation or education. They need to first believe in the craft, for the most of them are interested in the outcome. They're interested in what would they get.
Yeah.
That's it. So it has not been rosy, but when they find out that, with my experience, when they find out that you are very committed to the cause or your craft, they are able to come in strongly and assist. So we need a lot of orientation, like we are doing a lot of promotion, education, orientation. Yes, for them to come in. Okay,
and then also, Achu, in your work, do you engage students from other parts of Ghana, say the northern parts of Ghana, the hinterland, say a place like Nzulezu? Do you engage children from such communities? And what was the most recent, if you have?
I do engage, but not most recent. But there's something I did when I was on campus, when I was at the University of Education, Winneba.
Okay.
Having my national service, I moved all the way to the northern region, Wa to be specific.
Okay.
And I brought down some of the students there to the University of Education, Winneba, and we had a theater project. I deliberately did that painfully because I believe that we need to broaden what we have. We can't centralize everything in Accra.
Okay.
So that's one of the things I do. And I got the opportunity to work with some of the students who went to the theater arts in the communities, so we're able to interact with the children there. It's always a fulfilling moment to have children, telling stories with you. Yes.
Okay, so how about patriotism? Earlier, one of our on our show earlier on a segment, Kaf and his gentlemen, they discussed the national anthem and then they sang it. How well are we doing when it comes to using theatre arts to promote patriotism?
I'm sorry to say this. See, community theatre itself is not really existing in most communities. Because if we gather as a community, that's where we find these things happening. All right? If we gather ourselves as a community, you find from community to community, we put ourselves together and we are able to value certain things. And this is where it's supposed to happen, because you kind of learn this from that. Yeah.
Okay, and so 25 years, what's happening with the celebrations? Any activities? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm still volunteering, moving to schools, churches, spaces, and freely projecting the arts, using the arts as an effective tool for healing and development, especially like empowerment.
Okay. When you say healing, for someone who doesn't know that art heals, what do you mean by art is healing?
Looking at you already, right, is healing. It's therapeutic. See, when people sit together and they commune, they laugh, they are entertained, it's emotional. You are healed. Art is not only for entertainment. It's not for you to, we can be healed with the arts because you feel people, you touch people, you listen to people, you meet people, you connect with people. Yeah, so that's where I'm coming from. That's what I do.
Okay, so when is your next exhibition? What school are you working with? What are you doing? How can we see you doing your work? Where do we find you across social media then?
Okay, social media is Jolali Theatre House or Peter Achu Adalete.
Okay.
But from here, I'm moving to Keta Seminary School.
Okay.
Next month, yes, of course, to work.
That's Jolali.
Jolali.
Yes, we've had them here a couple of times.
Oh, really? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So what are you going to do when you go to Jolali? What's happening? What are you doing? What are
it's
you
all
exhibiting?
about empowerment. I want them to understand that whatever you have, you need to build.
Okay.
Master what you have, give what you have, and you surely be fulfilled.
Okay, so in wrapping up, what do you have to tell the general public and everyone who's watching us now?
God has blessed every one of us with a gift or talent. So you have to invest time and discover yourself, build yourself, and give yourself to the world. And that's it.
Thank you very much. We've been having a conversation on the role of community theatre arts in nation building, and we've been having this conversation with Peter Achu Adalete. He's country director, ITAC. ITAC is the International Teaching Artists Collaborative, and he's been in this industry for 25 years. He's doing amazing, and let's celebrate him together. If you go on social media, look for Jolali, you can find out what he's doing, and if you want to be part of it, and then you can follow him, and then you can be part of the work that he's doing. This has been our show, guys. Thank you for staying with us. We are wishing you an amazing Tuesday. But if you want to catch a repeat of this show, we are on again at 11 p.m. on GTV. We are on again at 11 p.m. on GTV. Across social media is GTV Ghana. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Show me a jigger, let me see, and let me see the woman that is